Hey guys, welcome back to P&W Guitar. Today I'm doing a little bit of a year-end wrap-up video, which I'm sure a lot of other people are as well, and looking on Reverb's best-selling list of guitars and amps for the year and give you kind of a quick insight as to what the items were and why I think they're that way. Excuse me, my light just fell down for no reason. That was weird. A little bit of a side shadow, but hey, whatever. Okay, anyways. So right now, it looks like the best-selling guitar of the year was the PRS SE Silver Sky, followed by the Fender Player Strat, the Fender Player Tele, American 2 Strat. Those are the top four. So basically, 3 Strats and 1 Tele in the top selling. You know, I can't say I'm surprised by this at all, to be totally honest with you, because I am like an avid gear hunter and somebody that does a lot of trading, just trying to move things around, try new stuff all the time. And what I noticed this year is that everybody and their mom is looking for Fender-style guitars. Everybody wants a Strat, everybody wants a Tele. If they have anything to trade, that's what they're looking for. And yeah, I saw like a lot of Les Pauls and a lot of like Gibson-style guitars for sale this year, so that doesn't surprise me at all. And the fact that SE Silver Sky is #1. It was super hyped, and I think everybody, when they came out, really wanted to try a Silver Sky, but the price tag was just too high, so when the SE came out, it was like... It was also the only guitar that wasn't included in PRS's 20% off SE model sale this year, so that's kind of interesting as well. The Player Series are the Mexican-made Strats, if I remember correctly. That's not weird that those would be #2. Followed by the Tele. I'm kind of surprised the Tele is less popular than the Strat in comparison, but I don't know, at the same time, it kind of makes sense, right? I mean, yeah, there's just a lot of big S-style players that are really big right now, especially with the neo-soul kind of stuff going on. If you guys remember when they did a quick list of the Coachella guitars that were being played the most, it was predominantly Fender-style, single-coil kind of guitars, so that's pretty interesting. Les Paul standard 60s and 50s are at number 5 and 6 here. I guess that makes sense, yeah. All your Les Paul players, I guess that's where those kind of lined up. After all the Fender style stuff and after the PRS, okay. The American Professional 2 Tele coming in after that. I would have to think that's also probably a price factor, because all of your first, what is that, the first 4, the PRS SE Silver Sky, and then you've got your Fenders that are the Mexican series, so those are under $1,000. Your standard 50s and 60s Les Pauls, and then your Professional Tele. And then number 8 is the John Mayer Silver Sky Signature. Those are all going to be within the same price range. Then you've got your Les Paul Classic. I saw a lot of Les Paul Classics up for trade recently, like online. There was a really pretty cherry red one with zebra coil pickups, and that was very pretty. I don't own any of those kind of guitars, but they were nice looking. And I hadn't even heard of Les Paul Classic previous to that, actually, so that's interesting. Then you've got the SE Custom 24, followed by... See, I thought that this one, the SE DGT David Grissom Tremolo Signature, I thought that would be higher on the list because those were really, really, really popular, but I guess they might have come out too late in the year to make it higher on the list. The ESP EC1000, that's actually a guitar I was looking at because I really want a single coil, like LP style guitar, and I love my Horizon so much that it kind of really had me looking into ESP. I also have heavily been looking into a PRS Silver, sorry, not Silver, I've just said Silver Sky so many times now. The single cuts, like the 594 or the McCarty. Especially the new SE McCartys look really sick. And then you're rounding out the list with the Squier Classic Vibe 50s Tele. That's an interesting spot for that to be. I'd have to think... Yeah, I don't know why that's in that spot. Price-wise, it's much cheaper than everything that's around it, so that's kind of an interesting spot, but the Classic Vibe stuff is sick, honestly. It's better than maybe some of the Player stuff, in my opinion, which is ironic. But if you put Squier in the headstock, it's just cheaper, and they make some really cool stuff, and the quality has been really, really nice recently, so that's cool. The Fender American Ultra Tele. Is that the one that comes in the Texas T-Burst? Because if it is, that one is really, really nice. The Tele that I've always wanted was the Made in Japan Midnight Tele. It's got the black matching headstock and gold pickups, and it's just, yeah, all the metal pieces are gold, and it's just beautiful guitar, but they're impossible to find. Then we've got the SE Hollow Body 2 Piezo? Nobody knows how to say that, I don't think, properly, but I did see a lot of people playing those this year. When I was out gigging, I saw quite a few of them, and I just think versatility. And they're nice looking, they're light. This is my number one guitar at number 16, the CE24, the PRS. I've talked about it in plenty of videos. I love that guitar. I wish the neck was a little thicker, if I'm being honest. That's the only thing that I would change about it, is if I could get a bit of a chunkier neck on it. Outside of that, it's super versatile. I love that guitar. The American Standard Strat makes sense to me. It looks like the other Strats are less popular than the Standard. I thought the Standard had been removed from the range and replaced with something else. But yeah, my eyes haven't been on the Fender stuff too much lately, so maybe I'm missing something. And then you've got the 60s Jazzmaster. That adds up to me. That's a really cool guitar. The Squire still, but yeah. Jazzmaster's American Vintage 261 Strat, and then the Standard Strat 86 to 2000. Are these used? Maybe these are used guitars and that's why those are up there. Yeah, I don't know. That's interesting. Well, Fender dominated it on Reverb this year from the looks of it, and if my browsing Facebook Marketplace and kind of used gear sites is in line with that, I think it makes sense. There's a ton of interest in Fender style guitars this year, and that's pretty much what everybody's looking for. So it looks like second year in a row, the Silver Sky. Oh, and the same thing I said. Brand wide 20% off sale SE guitars, and the SE Silver Sky was not part of that. Which, if it's the number one selling guitar, I guess there's no reason for them to put it on sale. They also probably did, I'm guessing over COVID they had extra stock and that's why they did this sale. I was very tempted to buy one. Also, did you guys see the Solar guitars? 2 for 1 over Christmas? That is crazy. They're not at all my style, otherwise I probably would have tried to get one, but also, you know, not quite my style. Very metal guitars. Yeah. What are these ones? Oh, okay, so these were the used guitars. Overall best-selling electric guitars of 2023, and then for new guitars, the Silver Sky, Strat again, Player Strat, Tele, DGT's up higher this time, yeah, for a new guitar. 40th anniversary of Vintage Edition Tele. And then, yeah, that list is essentially very similar, with the exception of the Yamaha Revstar. The RS-02T, I think that's the P90 version, right? That's a really cool guitar. I've been looking into getting one of those. I'm very torn. I have an Epiphone Les Paul Junior, and I love it, and the neck is nice and chunky, and it sounds awesome, but the Revstars are really nice. And really well-built guitars. I've tried a couple of them, and they're awesome, so I'm not surprised that that's up there either. It seems like you're seeing like a lot of Teles, Strats, Jazzmasters, some stuff with P90s, and then for your humbucker guitars, it looks like it's just straight up Les Pauls across the board. Now these ones, used guitars, I'm curious about that. Okay, so the Les Paul Standard 60s and this Player Strat are up there. Yeah, this list is also making a lot of sense to me too, because yeah, these are basically all the guitars I would expect people to try to pick up second-hand just to save money. And they're all high-quality guitars. You've got the EC1000, the Norlin era custom. I have to think that that's Hunter for Augafish, because he's been talking those up so much lately. It looks like they've been jumping up in price, ironically, which is, they're awesome guitars for the price, but if they're jumping up in price, then they might not be as good of a deal as they used to be. The SG Standard. My favorite SG, this one says it's going from 1991 to 2012. My favorite SG Standard I've ever played was the 2013. No robot tuners. I don't think I had the robot tuners that year. Sick guitar. The middle position in between the two humbuckers. Mint. Really good for clean sounds. I love that. Also hard to find. Go figure. Reissue made in Japan 62 Strat. Yeah, again, like a lot of Strats. You've got a couple PRSs in there. The ESP version of the Les Paul, because people liked a little something different, a bit more metal focused. That actually makes a lot of sense too. I'm not going to look at the acoustics, although the Tim Henson being in there does not surprise me. That's a guitar I've also looked at. Oh, it's actually the best selling. Yeah, that doesn't surprise me at all. A hugely hyped guitar, and to be honest, a nylon string guitar that looks cool and is also made that an electric guitar player could play a little bit more comfortably, string spacing wise and neck wise. That's, yeah, doesn't shock me that that's up there. I'm gonna jump over here too now to the best-selling amps. Maybe I'll blow this up a little bit, because I'm curious. Okay, within the first few, I'm not at all surprised by what I'm seeing here. So the Positive Grid Spark 40, when those came out, they were hard to get. But now that they're a bit more accessible, I've been seeing them come up for sale fairly regularly, and I'm not shocked that they sold really, really, really well. What can you say? There we go. Apparently my memory card filled up. That was awkward. Anyways, the Positive Grid Spark, not surprised that's selling really well. A lot of people picked up a guitar over COVID, and we're still seeing residual effects of that. That amp can do everything. You can control it with your phone. The speakers that are built into it, and the fact that it's a desktop amp, it sounds really cool. I almost considered buying one, but I just have no use for it. The Katana Mark 52, I have one. It's a sick amp. I've gigged with it. Pedal platform, you can run presets on it. That's amazing. The Yamaha THR, it's kind of like outdated at this point. I feel like the Positive Grid kind of overtook it, but still a good option, and Yamaha stuff is really, really good quality, so you can't go wrong there. Orange Micro Dark, I also almost bought one of those just to try it out. Having played through them at stores, they sound awesome, and they're really tiny and super portable, so that's cool. The Fender Rumble, I have no experience with at all, so I can't say much about that. The Tone Master stuff, that was on a lot of people's radars to make. For people that want to use an amp and then don't want to have all the weight of a full tube amp, apparently they sound really close to the original, so that makes a lot of sense to me. You've got the Kempers, a lot of pro guys are using those, touring people, guys that gig a lot, so that adds up. The Katana Mini, in my mind, the Spark just does what that does better, so it makes sense that that would still sell quite well, though, because the Katana stuff is still sick. The Katana 100 MK2, is that the one with the front panel? The knobs on the front instead of the top? Because I had a lot of interest in that as well, but that's a really cool amp. Totally giggable, sounds awesome. The Orange Terror Stamp, I don't know what that is, as well as the next THR, it's just got to be a bigger one. So I don't have a lot to say about those. The Orange Super Crush 100, that sounds like a tube amp. Orange killed it with that one. That's amazing. The MT20 Micro Terror, once again, all the Orange stuff sounds sick. Like, they started kind of the whole mini amp thing, and they probably do it better than anybody, even still. The MT15, if you guys are familiar with my music, that was an amp that I had for the last about 18 months, and I just recently sold it because I've been using my Helix predominantly in the studio and live, but that was a sick amp. I actually love it. I just couldn't justify keeping it because I wasn't using it enough, so it kind of had to find a new home, but amazing sounding amp. Really underrated clean sound. It's kind of got like a Fender Twin kind of thing going on. It's got an effects loop, super loud, too loud for, like, I'm in an apartment, so I could never use it here, but it was great. If you just crank the master volume, like, the tiniest bit, it was immediately deafening, so that was the only downside to that. Fender Rumble 100, I don't have much to say about that. I don't know much about them. Fender Blues Jr., that's a really standard go-to kind of first tube amp for a lot of people. Yeah, that makes sense. The Studio Vintage Marshall, those were really cool looking, actually. Those had my attention as well. The Orange Crush, I don't know what the difference is. Is that the combo version? Can you guys tell me that? If it's the combo version, it makes sense to me. And then the Fender Rumble. What is the Fender Rumble? I'm gonna look this up, because it's come up so much on this. What is this amp? Oh, it's the little combo bass amp. Yeah, okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. I'm surprised most people don't DI their bass if they have like a recording interface. But I guess if you need to practice, yeah, the Rumbles are good. I've tried those before, actually. And the Fender Mustang, that was my first amp, actually, after I had like a little crappy Dean Markley, like 5-watt amp. It sucked. It's terrible. But my next amp after that was the Fender Mustang V3, and it sounded fucking amazing for the size it was. Especially for someone who had no concept of how to dial an amp in. The presets were pretty good, so yeah. Well, I don't know, guys. I just wanted to go over this and kind of check out what was the high-selling stuff of this year. Are you surprised at all? Because I'm personally not. I think from the looks of it, a lot of it is like a lot of modeling, a lot of digital or combinations of both. You've got stuff with tubes that are also digital as far as the amps are concerned, and then with how popular like Polyphia or Corey Wong, like a lot of like the cleaner single coily guitar sounds are definitely up top this year, and I have friends that are playing with like rappers. That's kind of the sound that they're looking for as well. On the heavier side, yeah, you've got your Les Pauls, you've got stuff like that, but it looks like based on Reverb, yeah, that single coil sound has definitely been the sound of this year, so I think that's cool. I like that sound too. My first guitar was a Strat, I totally get it. That's going to be it for today, guys. It was just a quick rundown of the year. Happy holidays, Merry Christmas if you celebrate Christmas. Yeah, thank you for joining me. That's going to be it for today. I'm going to have some more videos out in the new year. I'm going to be filming all through this Christmas break. I've got big changes to my home studio here that I'm going to show you guys. So my recording setup's completely changed. Maybe I'll do like a full studio tour, something like that. Yeah, a lot of gear changes and stuff if you guys are interested. And yeah, I've got some demos to do. A lot more playing is going to be happening in the new year. So thank you for joining me. Welcome to P&W Guitar. If this is your first time tuning in, welcome. Thank you for joining the family. I hope that you subscribe and keep coming back. We've got lots of fun content all the time. And until next time, I will catch you later. Bye.